Welcome to V News, now the headlines today.
International donors focus on poverty and disaster relief. Vietnam to boost exports via e-commerce. Vietnam looks towards a green economic development model.
Updates on yesterday's report. The 2012 midterm meeting of the Consultative Group for Vietnam came to a close in Quảng Trị on June 5th. The meeting focused on poverty reduction and mitigating natural disasters for the central region of Vietnam.
When addressing the meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải thanked the community of donors for helping Vietnam to develop, as well as their commitment to support moves to reduce poverty and deal with the effects of natural disasters in the central region. The participants praised the government for its success in stabilizing the macroeconomy thanks to the effectiveness of Resolution No. 11. They said provinces in the central region should include reducing poverty into the region's overall development plans and work closer with donors to create and put into action projects that reduce poverty, improve infrastructure, and develop human resources.
In terms of your second question on the performance of the economy over the last several months, I think the first thing to say is the good progress that has been made on macroeconomic stabilization. As you know, inflation has gone down significantly. The latest numbers is around, I think, 8% year on year. We also know that the exchange rate is more stable. Deposits in the banking system are increasing. And there's a greater sign of confidence in macroeconomic management.
The meeting is an excellent opportunity for Vietnamese government and donors to discuss ways of boosting socio-economic development, reducing poverty, and mitigating natural disasters in the central region, which boasts a great deal of potential but also faces a lot of difficulties.
The problems that arose when the law on adoption and the Hague Convention were implemented were the topics for the discussion at a workshop held by the Ministry of Justice on June 6th.
It is also an opportunity for overseas adoption agencies to raise their understanding of Vietnam's current adoption laws. The law on adoption and its guidelines, which were issued in 2010 and 2011, mark a breakthrough in the country's legislation on adoptions. It is the first time that domestic and overseas adoption institutions have been included in the same document, which helps with managing and registering adoptions. However, the ministry pointed out that a wide range of difficulties had emerged after the law on adoption had been enforced for 18 months and the Hague Convention had been implemented for only 4 months. The ministry attributed the difficulties to Vietnamese agencies and organizations still operating in an old-fashioned manner when dealing with adoptions under the new law. The delegates from 9 embassies, UNICEF, the government, several provinces, and overseas adoption agencies discussed the difficulties and challenges and also proposed ways of enforcing the new law on adoption and the Hague Convention.
On June 4th, the Asia Society in New York hosted a seminar on current issues in the East Sea, which include maritime lanes and claims over territory.
At the seminar, many delegates emphasized that the East Sea is one of the regions in the world where there remains a high possibility of conflict. This is attributed to China claiming sovereignty over almost all of the East Sea and the resources of energy that lie under it. The declaration of sovereignty has caused a lot of tension amongst neighboring countries. The delegates were of the opinion that China or any other nation claiming sovereignty over parts of the East Sea should comply with the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea and the Declaration of Conduct of Parties in the East Sea. This was signed by China and ASEAN in November 2002 to settle disputes in the East Sea peacefully through negotiations for the benefits of all parties concerned.
A workshop took place in Ho Chi Minh City on June 5th to discuss how to promote the role of e-commerce in Vietnam.
At the workshop, themed Promote Vietnamese Exports Through E-Commerce, Mitch Free, the founder of MFG.com, the world's leading e-commerce group, gave a presentation on the benefits of e-commerce, as well as several other new forms of e-commerce now used by businesses. Free said that Vietnamese enterprises need to build up their trademarks because of the close relationship that exists between trademarks, e-commerce and marketing. The Ministry of Industry and Trade has said e-commerce will develop rapidly in the country between 2011 and 2015, after it first appeared in the country 10 years ago. It is now seen as an excellent way of Vietnam increasing its exports in the future. Currently, more than 45% of businesses use websites to promote their products.
A green economy is regarded by many as a model of economic development that can address global challenges such as climate change and energy and food security. Therefore, developing the green economy is incorporated into developing plans of many nations, including Vietnam.
Vietnam is one of the developing countries in the world to have a fairly fast economic growth rate. However, the country's economic growth and its economic development depend on the nation's natural resources and dealing with waste materials that pollute the environment. Hence the need for a green economic development model to ensure economic growth is sustainable and the environment is protected. It could be said that, what with the recent global economic financial crisis, the energy crisis and climate changes, nurturing a green economy has become an inevitable trend around the world. Around the early 1990s, in Germany and across Europe, people studied and applied green technologies and did achieve a certain amount of success. Currently, 10% of energy used is green energy, and 10% of all new jobs that have been created are for the green economy. However, the green economy is also a new concept in Vietnam, so restructuring the country's model of economic development in the current economic circumstances will not be easy. Inadequate technologies lead to poor economic efficiency, waste resources and pollute the environment. On top of that, most people tend to stick to their old consumer habits and are not interested in changing their ways, so it is difficult to develop environmentally friendly products. Vietnam is looking at speeding up its growth rate in the short term to keep up with other economies. However, for a green economy to grow faster and thrive in the long term, the challenge is to choose between growing a green economy over the years or faster economic growth in the short term, which in turn can create even more pollution and damage to the environment. Experts have suggested 3 ways that Vietnam could switch to a green economy. Investment needs to be poured into updating current technologies and economic sectors based on natural ecosystems, and the environmental industry and recycling services also need to be updated. With a proposed investment of about 2% of annual GDP, Vietnam could soon be on the right track and shift to becoming a green economy.
Numerous scientists, experts, and managers attended a seminar on how to promote the Ho Dynasty Citadel, a world cultural heritage in central Thanh Hóa province on June 5th.
At the seminar, the participants discussed the outstanding value of the Ho Dynasty Citadel as a world cultural heritage and ways of underlining its cultural importance. Several proposals to raise people's awareness of the need for conservation, protection and promotion of the heritage's values were put forward, including developing the local tourist infrastructure and upgrading existing facilities, while promoting the citadel as a tourist destination. The seminar was an excellent opportunity for Thanh Hóa province to hear the opinions and experiences of experts in business research and management to promote the efficiency and sustainability of the World Heritage Site.
And those are all for today. Thanks for watching and goodbye.